Habbo Hotel, a game of friendship, kindness, individuality, pyramid schemes, cyberstalking, scandals, fraud, gambling, racism. A cesspit of sugar, spice, and everything evil. And the home ground of the adventure we'll be embarking on today, Habbo Hotel. When I was younger, I was bound up all the time, and I was never allowed to play games or eat any food. But this isn't a trauma story, this is a Habbo story. And now that I'm finally 14 years old, I can finally relive my prime years as a child and play some of these massive MMO games that were super popular in the 2000s. The special thing about Habbo was you were able to create your own worlds, which Club Penguin and Motion Monsters didn't really have. Like, yeah, you could customize your igloo, but you couldn't genuinely make a full-blown casino in a kid's game, which is why this game has gathered so much infamously. You get what I'm trying to say, and I've kind of had enough for talking, so let's get right into the video. And so we begin, like all MMOs, that prompt you to make your character. It was kind of fucked up, man. Just Asian fishing. So I decided to make it look exactly like I did when I was 14. And looking at it now, I kind of look like a school shooter. Okay. And I tried to seal the name off with Dracula, but it ended up saying the name was inappropriate, and I didn't even realize this until I checked the footage back. Like, free my boy Dracula, he ain't do nothing. But also, I legitimately play with someone called Bumhair or some shit like that in 5 minutes. But apparently Dracula is offensive. This is the future the Democrats want, everybody. The first big decision I've ever had in my entire life comes next when I'm prompted with 3 different room variations: Home Shiny Home, Penumbra Party, and the Sunshine Lounge. And given my Romanian heritage, I jumped on the word shiny and selected the first option. And welcome to my room. Let me tour you through all the amenities. A window, a bed, a cuck chair, a closet that I'm hiding in sexually, more chairs. I got myself seated in the cuck chair, man. Okay, I'm already bored of that, so let's go find some people. Nope. There is legitimately nobody here. Hey, I got a strike. Maybe this entire journey was worth it. I found an achievement section called Crackables. The only achievement is crack your homeboy. And after all the fun and games, I was legitimately about to give up. I couldn't find anybody, and I was feeling very lonely. I had no one to crack me. I mean, and this may seem short, but I'd actually been playing for 30 whole minutes. That was until I found somebody. This is my only interaction with a woman this entire year. And she left me immediately without saying a word. I think my 48-hour deodorant ran out. But it's okay, because this guy took her place. We're friends. Okay. And after a long, hard day of rejection, I went back and sat in the cuck chair until a thought struck me. Why don't I just click on the things in the corner? And then bam. Public lobbies. Let the cracking begin. I'm finally back at the Coffee Plaza place, but there's actually people here this time. I don't know why they weren't here before, but they're here now. Probably wondering how my first interaction with real humans went. Was I warmly welcomed? Was I complimented? No. You lot disgust me for real. She left me for a black man.
Why the fuck did I laugh like that?
Anyway, I got myself seated and decided to send my first whole message.
Hi guys.
Hello. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you really enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Yo, someone finally spoke to me, yeah! The guys then started talking about when they made their accounts. Some of them were like 19 years ago, and I said, I just made my account 19 minutes ago. And then Rue the Whirl asked me,
Dracula, mate, how'd you blinking find out about Habbo Hotel, mate?
To which I responded, the grapevine. And I think my answer was satisfying enough because they just responded with,
true, mate, true.
And before I got too comfortable in this game, I got a very, very important warning from a player called Roll the Dice, who we'll hear from later.
Hi to the not so...
That's enough of that voice. Hi to the not so shitty people of Habbo Hotel. Some of you. Are there shitty people on Habbo? Yes. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you really yeah, there's tons of shitty people on Habbo. What do you mean? Sorry, I am a noob. Bottom 3 things you want to hear when logging into a video game. Why am I low-key scared of Habbo? You shall be. Do not get disc. Ever! And I was going to read the rest of these messages out, but I'm way too lazy. But long story short, there are people on this game that will try and ruin your life. I decided I didn't really have much of a life, so I did the only thing a human being should do with this much freedom, and get a 9 to 5. Welcome to the Hire Agency. Here Agency. HI Agents. Do you remember how I was talking about pyramid schemes, like way back in the intro? Yeah, this is kind of one of them. One of these places where you go and get paid and have no rights, no union, etc. Yeah, and we're gonna join one today. First things first, I couldn't help but be intimidated by the hierarchy of things over here, with all these royal looking people sitting up at the top, and I realized in this moment that I needed to climb the corporate ladder and make my way to the top. But first, I got sat down in the cuck stool, got a badge, got a sweet bio, and a full Balenciaga fit, and I was ready to start whatever I was starting because I had literally no idea what was happening. I'm such a little gimp, I'll just do whatever I'm told. I didn't even know what I was doing, she was just telling me to pick stuff up. I'm such a chud. Until I was finally teleported to this little section over here, and she told me good luck on training, and in my head I was thinking, what training? Nonetheless though, I was teleported to this new training ground, and let me tell you something, I had no idea what was about to come. A genuine hour-long process of learning information and a quiz. I was not expecting a literal test in Habbo Hotel, but I was low-key sweating my balls off. I had the Google Docs open with notes, I had ChatGPT on the other monitor, I was writing this shit down with pen and paper, all so I could get into HIA, man. My parents were rude the day they told me to get a job. But I felt so submissive when I was doing this test. They were making me stand up, sit down, call this person ma'am. I was like, what am I doing with my life? But when I finally passed the interview and got to change my tag from recruit to agent, I knew I was genuinely built for this. And if you're wondering what my job actually is, basically, I just recruit people. Yes, you heard me. That is all you do. This was the pyramid scheme that they were talking about. When your friends ask what you're doing on the Friday night, but you got the graveyard shift at the HIA agency on Habbo. And even though I legitimately just got employed and it took over an hour, I quit in like 30 seconds. Feels good to be back with civilization. I wonder what these people are talking about today. All men are good for is their pockets. Bro, I just quit my fucking job.
I'm essentially fucking worthless.
Can I ask everyone a question? What's the worst trait someone can have?
A liar.
What about white liars? What's race got anything to... What's race got anything to do about this? Shit is just not fucking funny, bro.
Probably lying.
Hey, Drac, we up to you, bro. Probably being fat. I then spent the next good while just looking for different games to play, but I literally couldn't find a single one I could participate in. I went back and sat in my door frame. I'm not even worth sitting in the cuck chair anymore. Which is what I would say if I didn't find a game to play. So put on your 48-hour deodorant, tuck in your third chin, and let's get rolling. Now this is the first game that I was actually able to participate in all of Habbo. And pretty much the way it works is you sit down on one of the chairs.
Of course you know I chose the big meaty fingers.
You then go around in a circle. You say 2 different numbers between 11 and 66. And if one of the numbers is on the dice, you gain 1 point. And it's first to 8. So it's complete RNG. And y'all remember when I was talking about some bum hair before? Well, his name was Bum Cheese, and he's here right fucking now. I actually had no idea what the rules were, and I was just literally saying numbers, trying to play along.
The numbers! What do they mean, Mason, the numbers?
And no, I did not win. Looks like the gambling didn't pay off and I'm gonna have to go back to the HIA agency, bro.
Mom, can I have some money, please? Mom, give me some heckin' money.
Maybe I'll be able to pay off my loan shark debt with the Leonardo DiCaprio impression. And you're probably wondering what I did with all this time unemployed after my retirement from gambling and the HIA agency. I just sat in 2-player realms and watched like a predator. I knew that insurance payout after I slipped in the bowling alley would pay off. The only small amount of joy I could manage to muster up after all these L's was outing this dude as gay in front of his crush. I finally got a win in Habbo. And if you're wondering what happened to Roll the Dice, well, I found her a couple days later and she was basically telling the story of what happened to her and why she was so foreboding about this game. And essentially, and to wrap up my Habbo experience, I finally got promoted from the cuck chair and got to lie in the bed. Thank God my freaking wife's boyfriend let me sleep in the bed today.
Me pan zoo 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 re re gubby gubby tung tung. Me pan zoo 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 re re gubby gubby tung tung.